What's going on YouTube? Big Dog Brett. I wanted to make a video about tomorrow's game, Middle Tennessee. It's not going to be a real long video because there's really not a whole lot to cover. I think probably the most exciting thing is that they moved the game from a 7:15 game to a noon game, which is fine. I think that they should absolutely play that game as soon as possible rather than taking a chance on it getting canceled. There's obviously with the hurricane coming in, we want to make sure that the fans and players and everybody is safe, so and as well as get the game in. We certainly don't want to lose an opportunity to play an opponent if we can help it. Might be some rain, might be some wind, but I think we'll be okay. Let's go over a few of the things that I think are going to happen in that game. Number one, I think you're going to see a score that's dictated by Georgia putting as many points as it wants to on the board. Georgia may come out there and say that it wants to do 50 points. I think that this will be a game that Georgia will put 50 points on the board. But don't be fooled by Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee's got some players. They have a pretty good receiving core. Well, I think one of their games they scored 60 plus points. That's impressive no matter who you are. I mean, if you can hang 60 points on the board, it's going to be that's impressive. So Middle Tennessee, his quarterback's pretty decent. I don't think he's a Power 5 caliber quarterback, but the guy definitely has an arm. He can throw the ball a mile. I mean, he just can. Their game plan is pretty much run and gun. They sling the ball around a lot. They don't do a whole lot of rushing. So you're not really going to see Middle Tennessee trying to run the ball. And if they do try to run the ball, Georgia's just going to shut that down. And what you're going to see is that Georgia's probably going to, if need be, dial up the heat a little bit on the quarterback to make him rush passes, rush throws. But we've got some talent in the secondary. You know, DeAndre Baker is obviously showing what he can do against some highly touted receivers. Richard LeCount the third. I mean, if you guys look over there, if anytime you saw DeAndre Baker on a play, about 3 steps away at the most was LeCount. I mean, you can't believe. I can't believe how well that those guys are performing and how much and how they continue to improve. So I think Georgia's going to use this as an opportunity to probably get some backups in early on. You're going to see a score that's dictated by however many points Georgia wants to put on the board. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. You're going to see you're going to see a lot of run game from Georgia. They're going to want to run the ball because they want to control the pace of the game as far as be able to hurry up and get this game over with. This is pretty much just a speed bump. I do believe that Middle Tennessee could put as much as 20 points on the board. I think Georgia's a 34-point favorite. But I think that those will all be just like in the Carolina game. You know, it'll either be a razzle-dazzle play, or it'll be some kind of blown coverage, or somebody gets lazy once we start putting in a second and third stringers, and somebody takes the top end out of the back. It happens. I don't think at any time Georgia's going to be in any danger of losing this game, even if Middle Tennessee comes out and scores a couple of points and scores points to start with and runs up on the scoreboard, maybe 10 points. Pat on the back to Rodrigo Blankenship. Obviously, the guy, you know, he's being called a weapon. I don't know why it took so long to call that guy a weapon. Clearly, longest field goal in Rose Bowl history. It's clear that guy's a weapon. And if you don't realize that Rodrigo Blankenship, if you're playing Georgia and you don't realize how big of a weapon that guy is, you have no business playing Georgia because you haven't looked at tape, you haven't looked at books, you haven't looked at history, you haven't looked at the roster, you haven't looked at anything. That guy's got a leg that, I mean, pretty much Mr. Automatic. And if he misses something, he don't miss about much. So anyway, watch him kick like a 45-yard field goal, nearly went through the top of the uprights. Weapon. Anyway, this game's going to be, I think Kirby Smart does a really good job of keeping the players' minds on task and keeping them focused on the game. I think Georgia's going to get in there and just do what they do and just beat the ever-living bejesus out of this team. And continue to focus on, you know, the bigger games that we have coming up moving forward. You know, looking across there, Jake Fromm had a good game against South Carolina. Jake Fromm's going to have a good game against Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee, I think they call them Blue Raiders or Blue something or another. Another bug on the windshield, man. I think that Kirby will keep the guys focused on what they're doing. He won't let them get carried away with overlooking this team. I think they're going to go out there and absolutely dominate. You're going to see, you're probably going to see a lot more zone coverage and less man-to-man coverage because while they do have some fast receivers, I think DeAndre Baker and Richard LeCount is going to be able to keep up with them just fine. So, all right, guys. Well, that's pretty much it. Another killing. You're going to see more cheerleaders. You're going to see more fans. You're going to see some water boys. You're going to see a couple of other guys that we have that are on the recruiting trail. We're trying to get them into UGA. We'll probably get them out there playing third and fourth quarter. I mean, there's even talk that they're going to bring some of the people from the Weather Channel in there and play football against these guys. So, offensive line is going to open up holes the size of Kansas. Defensive line is going to shut everything down. So it's going to be a pass war as far as them trying to get points there. I mean, you're going to see a lot of 3 and outs. A lot of 3 and outs from Middle Tennessee. Just another killing. That's it. So, I'll probably do a halftime report. Probably do any game report as well, but I'm not looking for anything spectacular out of this game other than Georgia's going to run the points up as high as they want to. Maybe Kirby Smart will want to jump out there and try to make a statement against this team and run some points up. One of the things that I think he may be doing is intentionally not running the score up, just to keep not worrying about the rankings. He's doing that to keep Georgia in 2, 3, 4, 5 rank, whatever on the AP poll, because that's easy to keep your team motivated whenever you say you're not number one. You're not number one. You got to fight to go get that. And so whenever Georgia's out there having to compete to get that ranking, I think it keeps everybody hungry and playing. I think the team has a great mentality right now. Everybody's on board. You don't see any drama. You don't see quarterbacks moaning, groaning, and complaining. You don't see running backs moaning, groaning, and complaining. Oh, and TJ, whatever your name is, that played for USC East, Gamecocks, South Carolina Junior. I don't know what you were thinking when you said, and if you guys haven't seen this, go back and watch this press release. This ticked me off. What in the world were you thinking trying to say that y'all just as good as Georgia? What? That y'all just didn't play hard enough? What? No, sir. Even when y'all was playing y'all's behinds off, Georgia was still spanking that ass. So don't come in here and say that y'all just as good as Georgia. If it was, the scoreboard would prove it. When Georgia's putting in second and third and fourth stringers and y'all still got your primetime guys in, urgency ain't got nothing to do with it. Ain't got nothing to do with it. Georgia in there punching you in the face and you going, we're just not motivated to play. No. Georgia was walking all over y'all and wasn't a dead blame thing you could do about it. So don't sit up there and run your mouth, fighting back tears, trying to, because you don't want to tell yourself that you got your teeth kicked in and you was doing your very best. You should be proud that you went out there and put your very best effort out there. Be proud that you worked your tail off. You might not have got the results you wanted, but you gave it 100%. Don't come out there and say, well, we didn't get the result we wanted and we didn't put in 100%. Shut up. That's just weak. That is weak sauce. So quit it. Hold your head up. If you're going to take a whooping, take a whooping. We went out there and lost to Alabama. You don't see me crying in my Wheaties about that, saying, well, we didn't try hard enough. No, we tried our tails off. We just come up a little bit short at the end. And there ain't nobody out there that's going to say that Georgia wasn't out there working their tail off. You got a football team playing your biggest opportunity to put yourself in a college football playoff position, but you're going to sit there and say, we just didn't have a sense of urgency. No, Georgia was just better. You can say that. Go practice it in the mirror. Georgia was just better. And that's why the score was 41-17. We were just better. Better on the field, better off the field, better in the locker room, better at practice, better on the depth chart, better at recruiting, better at putting points on the board. Better. You just got beat. It happens. And it wasn't because you didn't try. So stop with all the nonsense. You got whooped. Move on. Anyway, I got to give a score prediction for the game. So, score prediction for Georgia versus Middle Tennessee. I hate to keep picking these 40s numbers, but they seem to be on spot. So I'm gonna go a little bit higher this time. Golly, I'm gonna say 51. I don't even want to say 51. 51-14. 51. No, wait a minute. We shut out Austin Peay, didn't we? I think the defense guys might be mad that they didn't shut out South Carolina. Man, they can pass. $52. 52-6. 52-6. If you want to bet on that 34 points spread, I think you're still good. I think you're still good on that. I think you can still bet the 34 and get it. I don't think it's necessarily easy money, but I think Georgia's still going to clear 34 points. So I'm going to go 52. Probably going to regret this. 52-6. All right, guys. That's all for today. You guys see me back on later. Thanks so much for your support. I appreciate you guys. Got up to 200 subscribers, and I really appreciate that. If you liked the video, if you made it this far, please feel free to hit like and share. Please like, please share. Facebook, YouTube, however you want to share, I don't care. But please share. Sharing is caring. Got a Patreon page. You guys heard about them other videos. Go check that out. And as always, thank you so much for watching these videos. It means a lot to me. You guys are awesome. And as always, God bless and go Dogs.